Hey, welcome to Tales from the Troll Hole. I'm your host, Cecil B, and together we're going to dive deep into the internet and find what stories there are to be read, enjoyed, laughed at, cried with, you name it. Thanks for coming along on this journey with me. Now grab your torch and pitchfork. Let's dive into this troll hole. Hello. It's been a long time. I have been doing a lot of stuff, and this was not one of the stuffs that I was doing, but I wanted to. And now I'm back with a brand new episode of Tales from the Troll Hole, just for you, whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are, because this could be in the future. Well, it will be, because nobody's listening to this as I'm recording it in the present / the past. So let me give you a little rundown of stuff that I've been doing, because I'm sure that it's interesting to someone. I've been doing a lot of hiking, as usual. A lot of hiking. Some cycling. Hiking to cycling. A lot of snowshoeing. And then I was sick for a while, and that was terrible. Don't recommend. 0 stars out of 5. Why don't they let you leave 0 stars on something when you're rating anything at any point? You have to give it 1 star, and I feel like that's manipulative. Because if something deserves 0 stars, you should be able to give it that. And not rating it does not equate to 0 stars, by the way. For instance, if you buy something and the packaging is bad, like the thing got broken, but it's not the fault of the mail carriers or the delivery people, but like just shoddy packaging, like something breakable didn't have any bubble wrap in it, just like some shredded old newspaper, and the newspaper article was offensive to you, second of all, and the item was broken, but it wouldn't have even worked anyway, and then bad customer service, like that all deserves 0 stars, all of it together. You know what I mean? But anyway, give me the option of 0 stars. Do it. That would be great. If someone did that, I would give that experience 5 stars. The experience of getting an additional star option. Okay, so I've also been working and cleaning. Spring cleaning is upon us at this present time, which is really exciting, but it's also a chance to notice just how much shit you have lying around. And you're like, how did this happen? How did I get all this stuff? Where did it come from? And who will take it from me for money? Give me money and take my stuff. That's the ideal, right? But I'm feeling like a whole new summertime is approaching, because historically I've been anti-summer. I've been probably kind of a bummer to be around in the summer, because summer bummer, that was me. Oh my goodness. But now, especially because I'm trying to kick my health into gear, I'm working out more, I'm trying to be more mindful of my food choices, and I'm trying to be more active. I'm excited. I think it's all culminating into mental health like they tell you it's going to. And it does, folks. It absolutely does. Okay, this week, what I think it's not what I think. We are doing this. This is what we're doing. This week, we are talking about overhearing hilarious things. So the funniest / weirdest things that people have overheard in public spaces. Because I work retail, okay? I overhear conversations. People being on the phone while they're shopping, or just people in the zone talking to each other in person, or just it's so hard to say, or even on the bus or in waiting rooms, like people are just talking like nobody is listening. And I know that there's the whole like dance like no one is watching, but you should never talk like no one is listening. Okay, so here is our first story. And all of these stories are going to be from Reddit, FYI. So I'm just going to say the username and just know that it's from Reddit. Our first one is from Tomport. I went to an indoor RV show where they were selling snacks. A few women in their 70s were working the food stand. They started to laugh. I kindly asked, "What are you laughing about? Share the joke." The lady responded, "She said she hadn't handled this many wieners in 40 years. The comment below it says, "I want to know what happened 40 years ago." I do not want to know that. But that's great. I love seeing people have fun at work. I think that's really great. The next one is from Serpentine RPG. In Alabama, his granddaddy died. He didn't die of nothing. He was just too damn lazy to live. Yep, and it's kind of natural to do some kind of accent with that one. I've never been to Alabama. I'm sure I did that wrong, but it's still pretty funny. The next one says, I work in retail. Kid is being all bratty, about to throw a tantrum, and the father goes, "If you don't stop, we'll just go straight home with no shopping." The kid, who is maybe about 4 or 5, hits back with, "That's what I wanted the whole time." Next one is from Redditress428. Overheard at a grocery store when 2 shoppers' carts bumped into each other. One apologized, saying to the other one, "My bad, I have an out-of-state license." That is such a good joke. Whenever I see that at the retail place that I work at, I always say, "Whoa, bumper cars," and nobody laughs except for me. And that's part of the joy of it. I love when I find something funny and other people don't, and it's just like a harmless, like stupid thing that I say. Maybe that's why I like The Office so much. It's just like the cringe. I really appreciate it. I think it's so funny. It's not the thing that I say, it's the fact that the thing I said to be funny gets a reaction that is horrified and like third-party embarrassment, but what I've said is not offensive in any way, it's just cringe, but it's on purpose. You know what I mean? I don't know. The next one comes from Grand Ad 3177. Friend of mine ran into his dad in a grocery store that he did not know was in town at the time. He turned around to us and said, "See, I told you Kroger's has everything." This next one is from Dreamy Dusk. I overheard a group of maybe high schoolers arguing who is more country. One asked, "You're country, huh? How long is your driveway?" I'm going to say that sounds like a euphemism to me. How long is your Thunder Road? Apparently, from what I can tell, it means like how far away is your nearest neighbor, and that kind of proves how far out you live. But still, that's wild. This next one is from Moe's Beard. When I was a teenager, me and my brother invented a game we called Wasn't His Hot Dog. We thought the funniest thing was hearing bits of convo as people passed by, so we started saying the craziest one-off sentences we could to make the other brother break and confuse the hell out of people. The game's winning line and namesake went to my brother. As we passed a couple, he loudened his conversation naturally and said, "Well, after all that, it turns out it wasn't even his hot dog," and instantly won the game. We play it to this day as men in our 40s-ish. The mall was our main target. We would play for hours. That is good, wholesome fun. I totally love that. It reminds me of that Vine where that lady's walking by on the phone and she goes, "And they were roommates." Oh boy, that's fun. I like that a lot. Okay, here's one from World Ancient 7852. I work in a shop, so we hear snippets of conversations as people walk past the open door. Last year I heard, "Well, you're just going to have to tell the museum you've lost it. I'm not covering for you." And I think about that a lot. Damn, what did you lose? An artifact? A priceless painting? Some sort of sphere with a secret code to crack to get inside, where there's another code that will lead you to a treasure? Perchance? We may never know. Unless you're that person, in which case you could tell me. You could find Tales from the Troll Hole Instagram and tell me what you lost. That'd be great, because now I want to know. This next one comes from a deleted user. There was this guy sat across the train aisle from me when we were waiting to leave the station. He was on the phone to his wife. He had a voice like Mr. Bean. They were discussing what to have for dinner, and he was suggesting quite elaborate things. For example, lamb tangine, vangoli pasta, duck confit, etc. Also, this was 20 years ago, and it was quite a late train. Then, after about 10 minutes or so of describing fancy dishes, he said, shall we just have beans on toast?" in his Mr. Bean voice. I look over at the woman sat next to me, and she was trying not to laugh. She saw me trying not to laugh, and then we both started laughing. The guy said, "Oh no, I need to go. Speak to you later." And then hung up. Oh, that poor man. He was just trying to figure out dinner, but I get it. Oh my God. I think Mr. Bean is so funny. I know that I didn't do anything close to a Rowan Atkinson Mr. Bean impression there because that would be fun for no one. The comment below says, "People always say, stop being so shy. I promise you no one even remembers your embarrassing moments except for you. Also, people, I was on a train 20 years ago, right?" This one comes from another deleted user. "I was in church during confessions and overheard the priest say to the person that was in the confessional, 'You did what?'" Oh boy, I can't even imagine. It's like the one place you're supposed to go to be able to say anything and have it be a secret, even though there's a bunch of holes in those walls. How do you know people aren't just posted up there listening? And then B, get no judgment for those things because it's absolution, but then you just get judged super hard for it and other people hear it? Are you kidding? Oh God, I'd be sick. This one comes from Siberian Coal Train. In college, someone asked, how could 9/11 have been an inside job if the planes came from outside the building? How did they manage to get in this college? I bet you that's one of those things where they wake up like when they're about to fall asleep and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe I said that." Get the cold sweats and stuff. Ooh, I hate that. This one comes from a deleted user. Walking behind two guys walking towards the sunrise after 8 a.m. class one day. Guy number 1, "Man, the sun is really bright." Guy number 2, "Yeah, it feels like it's burning my rectums." Guy number 1, "Yeah." This one is from Alarm Busy 7078. "I recently walked up on 3 women sharing a brunch as one said, 'I just did not expect a bodybuilder to be so submissive.'" This one comes from Half-Hearted Fanatic. 2001, Washington, D.C. A young couple sitting behind me in a movie theater waiting to see The Lord of the Rings. Woman: "Is this like a made-up thing, or did it really happen?" Man: "This is real." I wish it was real. I love Lord of the Rings. This one comes from Darth Ribius. "I'm cruising the fruits and veggies section at the grocery store. 2 female produce department employees are stocking the bananas. One, likely in training at the time, asks the other, 'Should the greener ones go at the back?' To which the other replies, 'It doesn't matter. A banana's a banana, woman.' Right at that moment, a very large man on a motorized scooter with an oxygen tube in his nose comes around the corner and makes it apparent he only heard the last 2 words of the employee's exchange by shouting, 'What the hell is a banana, woman?'" This next one is from Chillax Bro. "I heard one man ask the captain of a sunset sailboat, 'How many sunset tours do you do in a day?' The captain just kind of looked at him all weird, and the man said, 'Oh, right,' and walked away slowly. I laughed and made a comment to the captain about how silly that question was. He just nonchalantly said, 'You'd be surprised how often I am asked that.' Yes, this was in Florida." All right, we have officially arrived at the section of the podcast where I reveal frog facts. Frog facts. Here we go. Today, I wanted to talk about the black rain frog, and all of these facts are going to come from worldwildlife.org. Now, you may recognize the black rain frog because it's in a lot of memes recently, and it's like the frog with the funny little butt, and it looks like it's very grumpy all the time. They are so funny. Okay, so here is a couple of facts. Here are a couple of facts about that. So it lives in the South African Cape Fold Mountains. It's about 1.5 to 2 inches long. I thought it would be bigger looking at the pictures of it. They're so small, though. They eat small insects. The skin, the black rain frog, is sometimes compared to an avocado because of its dark, bumpy brown or black skin, which lacks warts but has small, knobby tubercles. What is that? Okay, legs. Okay, legs. Has legs. Great. With a squat round body and short limbs, the frog walks but can't hop or swim. I didn't know that. He's a little walking... Okay, it's like the pug of frogs. But pugs can walk. But it's like if a pug was like, very rotund, needed a skateboard to get around. We need to get these frogs tiny skateboards, like a tech deck. It would be perfect. As for feet, they are flat, spade-shaped nodules. There are flat, spade-shaped nodules on the frog's feet that allow it to scoop away soil as it burrows backwards. Well, that's cool. Okay. So for its shape, the frog's shape is an effective defense mechanism. When faced with a threat, it puffs up with air like a balloon, expanding to several times its size. In addition to making the frog appear more intimidating, this extra girth helps the frog lodge itself in its tunnel, making it difficult for predators to pull out. That's great. That's wonderful. So it can't be removed from its little tunnel because it's all puffed up like a little airbag, or like that foam stuff that plugs a hole in a wall. Okay. Unlike most frog species, these frogs don't require access to open water to lay eggs or reproduce. Instead, females lay their eggs in shallow nests underground, which males guard until the embryos hatch, not as tadpoles, but as tiny, fully formed froglets? The fuck is a froglet? Ugh. I love frogs and frog facts so much. A froglet. A fully formed froglet. That is absolutely wild. Quite literally. I hope to see one of them in real life. I think that would just be a real treat if I could see. I know that you're not supposed to really hold frogs because the oils in your skin can be dangerous for their skin. But someday, if we have the technology where they make like a lotion that can neutralize you for ultimate frog safety, that'd be great. Well, it's a short episode for you this week, friends, neighbors, relatives, future pals, enemies. I don't know who you are. This is a short episode for you this week. I'm going to get back into the habit of doing more of these because I do have a really great time with it. And I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you get out and do some fun activities. Go have a nice treat somewhere. Take a walk. Take a swim. Have a stroll. Take a drive. Or just watch TV. Whatever makes you happy, go do it. Go look at pictures of froglets. Okay. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Tales from the Troll Hole. I'm your host, Cecil B, and this show is produced by me. Our theme song is by Vervex. They're a great band. You should give them a listen. You can stream them anywhere. They're also on TikTok and Instagram. Remember to subscribe so that you don't miss out on a single episode. And also find us on Instagram, and then you can send in your own stories. I just ask that they're true and that they're not going to scar somebody for life. You know what I mean? Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.